The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community to seize and shares all things new. We are your host, or ako pala, I will be your host for today, Eros Cabrera. You're watching another episode of Founders Failures on the TNC, where we bring entrepreneurs together, inspire individuals into startups, and remove the stigma of failures. Yan. So hello everyone. This will be the first episode na I'll be the first one to host alone. Supposedly kasama natin si Sean and si Carlo, my co-host. Kaso, they're doing some things. And now, we'll jump na sa ating interview with Miss L. Juan of MedHive.
Hello! Hi, Eros. Thank you so much
Hi.
for having me.
Hi, Miss L. Kamusta? Saan po kayo ngayon?
Nasa Singapore po ako ngayon. So, I'm so privileged to be joining you this afternoon kahit wala si Sean and Carlos. I hope yung kwentuhan natin will be enough for our audience this evening.
Yeah, sure. For context lang po sa ating viewers, can you tell us about what MedHive is?
Well, MedHive is a health tech startup that I co-founded with two very brilliant young people. So we are in the mission of improving and digitizing medical supplies procurement. It is one of the things that I've been involved with. And, for this episode, I'd like to be sharing beyond MedHive. Pero yun po, that's what MedHive is.
Yeah, mas gusto natin yan, Miss L. So what we want for founders to see is yung bigger and deeper picture of the founders. Hindi lang yung main thing na ginagawa nila. So let's get MMK-ish. Ngayon, joke lang.
Ayan, sige, I'm ready.
Iyakan.
Don't challenge me.
Ready. Okay. Sige, let's start. Before MedHive, written here as you were an educator. Tama po ba? Can you tell us the story of your aspirations before doing everything you're doing right now as an educator? What was your aspirations back then?
Okay, so a long time ago, that education bit was really several years ago, as in more than 2 decades. So matanda na. Pero I did start in the academia. So I have always been fascinated with, educating the younger generation. But then, when I started having a family, having bigger responsibilities, you have to find other ways to supplement your income. So that's the usual story, I think, ng mga Filipino who go out of the country to find greener pastures. So from being a teacher, a professor of economics, I had to leave the country, and sabi nga nila nakipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa. So I went to Singapore. I tried to start, but as is very familiar sa madaming OFW, it's very difficult to start. Napakahirap magsimula sa isang lugar na wala kang kilala, wala kang, you don't have anything to hold on to. So, yeah, so that was the beginning.
Yeah. Natuwa naman ako sinabi niyo economics kasi I myself is a business economics graduate.
Yes. Go business
So-
economics. The B makes the
Yeah, very
difference.
good.
Ayan, secret natin yan. But yes, the B makes the difference.
Yeah. So, as you told then, na mahirap yung naging starting you as educator then going to Singapore. Was there any specific moments or ano yung mga kwento natin na early challenges that you faced na nangyari sa'yo?
Oh, okay. Let me start with this. So your show is called Founders Failure. So I think it's very, very relevant kasi nga founders nowadays are being romanticized about, oh, wow, you founded a company. When in fact, it's never easy. Ang dami-daming iyakan moments. So let me start my story with your questions. What are the challenges na face ko when I moved from the academia, being an educator, to now, well, an overseas foreign worker? Number one, I realized na walang pakialam ang ibang bansa at ang ibang kultura kung ano ka sa pinanggalingan mo. So that is an eye-opener. Sobrang nabuksan yung mata ko na, wala palang bearing yung pinag-graduatean ko or yung, dati akong university professor. It doesn't matter because when you're out there, you start from the beginning. You have to prove to them what you can do. So naturally, because I was from the academy, ang una kong a-applyan would be also to teach, right? And here's the story. I was actually invited to do a teaching demo. That was very, very long time ago. Okay? So, nung time na yun, wala pa tong mga tech na to. From where I came from, hindi pa uso ang yung mga PowerPoint presentation. Ang uso pa nun, Blackboard. You create your graphs from scratch at chalkboard, okay? And kung meron kang, I don't know if your audience know it, kung meron kang projector, the acetate, advanced ka na nun. So that's where I came from. So I come to Singapore, it's more advanced, and I was doing my teaching demo. They made me stop and said, okay, obviously, what we're talking about, but we're not really sure if you can do a PowerPoint presentation. And that was the beginning of my story, that I realized that, wait, it's not enough that I'm good at what I do. I have to know what is new in terms of the technology, in terms of the tools that are being used, in that case, education. So I think that's where I started my love affair with tech, with all things new, with the innovation. So that was one very, very eye-opening but also challenging. You don't know where to start because you think that you have gone far enough in your previous career.
Then what was the initial start para mas mag-grow pa yung love nyo into tech? That's the seed. Then paano pa siya mas nag-grow?
I love your word, the seed. Oo nga, that's the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So paano siya nag-grow? I was involved in events. So I managed to get into the business of events. So the industry it's a very exciting industry. So you always learn new things. And incidentally, one thing that is permeating all industries, kahit anong industry ka pa, whether mining ba yan, energy ba yan, banking ba yan, it's the applications that are now coming out because of the technologies, the new technologies, the new uses of technology, yung mga innovation. So in the event industry where I had moved from my education, career, technology was at the forefront. So ito yung isa sa mga pinag-uusapan. That's where I will take from your example, doon na diligan yung seed of my interest in technology. So now I have to, I have to quickly become a mini expert on different industries, how technologies impact the different industries. And I guess that's where it grew, because then I got to meet people who are involved in new tech, in technologies, trying to adopt tech, in research, trying to come up with new and more exciting technologies.
Oh, that's nice. So transitioning there as educator, then dabbing into tech,
Hmm.
was MedHive the first one, or what was your few ideas before jumping to MedHive?
So I'm sure this is a very common practice sa mga founders or entrepreneurs. We have so many ideas, right? And it's the
Yeah.
execution that will make the difference. So before MedHive, I did have several ideas. So I started with an event company, a talent company. There's always MLM somewhere there, but all of them were failures. So here's the thing: all of them were failures because I did not have the right mix of, I suppose, experience, network, people, resources to make it during my first few endeavors prior to MedHive.
How many failures before MedHive?
Wow, ang daming yan. Hindi ko nga mabilang. But I would probably count three major business endeavors. One is I an event company, but I was very narrow-minded that time. I was just looking at events. Like I said, experience. Once you experience more, then mas madami kang insight. Lumalawak yung paningin mo. So during that time, 15, 18 years ago, I felt I was too narrow-minded. So that's fun. And then I had a talent competition. So that's another story, which is primarily watch who you trust. Ayan, one of the lessons that we can talk about later on is like you have to watch out who you share your vision to, your dream to, and then be very careful on who to partner with, who to trust. Yes, and you know what? I even had a music school, unbelievable. Pero yes, one of my failures. So it was up and then it's closed. So see, ang dami nasubukan before the health tech startup.
Was there a specific failure na feel niyo na rock bottom? Na talagang ang hirap ng pinagdaanan. Although there are
Yes.
failures, pero yung nag-stand out talaga na sad talaga. What was that?
Okay, if I start it, then the MMK version might start and everybody might need to take their tissues out. So let me be very brief. I invested time, effort, and resources in an endeavor I trusted very close people to me. And it didn't work. So the business didn't work. And the relationships also have been, strained because they had different priorities, because they made decisions that are not for the good of the company. So, yun yung, what's the word? Masakit. That's the most difficult. Financially, emotionally, psychologically, and then you start to question spiritually, like why it had to happen to me. But I have been there. So, mahirap bumangon, but hey, I'm here. See, I'm being interviewed sa TNC by Eros. So, I made it.
Yeah, tama din. It's parang along the journey din talaga, you have a few tips na sana nalaman mo nung una pa lang. So parang when partnering with someone, na-realize ko na I have 3 points, parang high intelligence, high energy, high integrity.
Oh,
Na,
yes.
So before you'll be excited when you meet someone, oy, ang talino niya. Tapos nakalimutan mong i-background check, hindi pala okay integrity niya. So you'll be working with someone that's very smart, but it's going
questionable
below you.
yung principles, diba? Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. In fact, because well, obviously I'm older than you. So, babaligtarin ko yon. Among the three, I would probably rank integrity because of age, Eros, okay. Integrity is number one.
Yeah.
Because the intelligence and the energy you can influence. Intelligence, pwede mo naman yung pag-aralan eh. Energy, pwede mo rin yung irara mo siya. Go. Yes. But the integrity part is something that unfortunately not many people have. it's a reality, it's a reality. Integrity is something that is so difficult to influence. It's either you have it or you don't. Walang in between. Kasi kung in between ka na, di no na yun. Diba? So again, because of age, let me tell you, I would rank that first.
Yeah. Like what you said, lahat madaling baguhin, pero integrity kasama na kasi doon yung ating childhood. Yung buong environment natin.
Yes,
That's why it's
yes.
harder to change. So
Correct.
I
Yes.
super agree the integrity part. I've met people that are high energy and high intelligence, and I work with them, and dun ko palang
Mhm.
malalaman na, okay, you have some values na, what if ito kayang gawin natin? Na
Yes. Yes.
questionable. And
Correct. Correct.
glad na nakipag-partner muna ako sa kanila on small things, on small scales, para mas nakilala sila.
That's
Kaya
good.
naman.
That's also a good learning. Ano muna,
Yeah.
test the waters, di ba? Yes.
And going back on your journey and your hardships then, and those hardships and failures, ano yung initial moment po doon na nag-aha moment kayo jumping to MedHive and going to that vision?
Oh. That's a very good question. And I guess it's also the same thing that I am in right now. So the aha moment would probably be this: realizing that there's a need, and then realizing that I can do it, and then realizing that if I don't do it, somebody else will. Yun yung aha moment ko. All of those things combined, I guess. And then obviously we pray about it, we seek guidance, and then we seek confirmation. So that is the aha moment, I suppose. And and then it started. I started sharing the vision to people, finding the right people to work with, and then MedHive was born.
Was there a specific pain point na kayo mismo yung naka-experience? Ay, ano ba naman to? Kaya i-start niyo yun?
Okay, so I've been away from the Philippines for some time. So I cannot even say na ako yung naka-experience. But back when I was still in the Philippines, I remember that it was always difficult to find, the medicines that the doctors would prescribe to your patient kung wala sila doon. That was a problem. And then I realized upon, digging deeper and asking about this kind of issue, na nandun pa pala siya. That nahihirapan pa rin palang mag-source ang the hospitals, even the patients, ng mga life-saving drugs. So that was one pain point. And when my parents were still alive, my dad was still alive, he was always in the hospital. So alam ko yung feeling na yun. So if there's something that this startup can help to alleviate that, that worry, that pain, then let's do it.
That's nice. And you told din kanina with how you see differently now in partnering with people. But now you've started MedHive and siguro meron kayong ilang initial failures when you started. Ano yung initial nyo pong valuable lessons in building MedHive aside from people?
Okay, so I've actually exited. So that's the thing. That's why I'd like to also share about other. So nag-exit na ako. But that's the thing. Your baby will always be there. It's always going to be your baby. Okay, so MedHive, and I'm very, very proud of what MedHive has achieved. It's won several awards. It's been we have Silicon Valley VC funding. So it's doing its purpose. And that makes me happy. As a founder, it always makes you, yes, masarap ang feeling. Oo, ito ang pinangarap ko for this company and it's happening. Okay? So, what was your question? Ayan tuloy, naligaw. Your question
Valuable
is,
lessons when building aside dun sa people.
It's focus. One of my regrets sa MedHive is because I'm remote. So we had a team in Philippines. And then malayo ako, I'm in Singapore. When we had a bigger team, when we had a bigger team, because we had to let go of some people, reorg, etc. Iba iba kasi when you have a face-to-face conversation. A
Yeah.
face-to-face communication will always feel different than a Zoom, meeting. So I think yun yung isang lesson na no matter how remote the work and the business can be, face-to-face conversations, really heart-to-heart talk with
Mhm.
people still matter. That's a reality, and I think the world is realizing that now. Yes, there's Zoom. Yes, there's many other tools. Yes, there's remote work. But then after the pandemic, when people can go out and travel, people wanted to meet people. They go to events. They go to physical events. They attend. They talk. They exchange insights. They debate. So that's one learning that I'd like to share now. Ano ba yun? Relationships,
Mhm.
face-to-face relationships still
Face
matter.
to face.
And empathy, which is a very, very important skill that I've observed not a lot also know and have.
Mm.
Empathy can be over the phone, over the screen, but it's still special when you're in front of a person, telling him, assuring that person, I understand, and we can do this together, or let's find a solution. So yeah, that's one thing that was clear to me in my med-high journey.
Yeah, kasi when we are building something, minsan nakafocus na lang tayo dun sa partnerships, sa tech,
Yeah,
na minsan nakakalimutan natin yung
the
mga tao natin,
figures.
yung kasama natin,
Yes, yes.
na along the way, nararamdaman nyo na lang, parang nalayo na yung loob nyo sa isa't isa. Kasi the things that you
And
work
yes,
on will work, and you have to work on your relationships with your employees and everyone and partners.
yes, and as you grow bigger, like
Yeah.
kung tatatlo lang kayong founders, kaya pa yan. But then when you grow bigger and then you have bigger teams and then each team would have different priorities, that's when the communication has to be really clear. That's when what I'm trying to say na that's when the relationships need to be really strong para,
Mm.
all of you move in the right direction at the right beat, at the right tempo.
How was the exit like? What's the feeling?
Um, Mixed emotions. I think it's always going to be mixed emotions. Na it's always gonna be yours because, like, see, I will
Yeah.
always have that title, but then I have to let go. So para kang may anak na, and I will always liken the startup journey to motherhood because, well, I'm both. I am a founder and I am a mother. So para kang may teenager na anak na now it's time to go. And hindi ko pwedeng pakialaman lahat ng decision mo,
Mm.
your direction. And so yeah, mixed feelings. But all in all, I'm very proud of what MedHive has achieved, the team that have been part of it have achieved, and excited sa next journey.
Ilang years na po MedHive?
2019, so 4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
Wow, 4 years tas nakapag-exit agad. Crazy. Then,
And then that's why I have other, my energy is now focused on other projects. So now I have other things that I'm excited about. That's why, yun. That's why all of the learnings that we're talking about, I'm carrying all of this, and then I'm ready to bring them all to my next projects.
yeah. Was that kayo yung nag-alok or sila yung nag-tap for the exit?
Oh, so it's a, as any exit, it's going to be a decision that will be made by the board, founders, investors. So yes, it was
Got
it was a decision that everybody made, and I think everybody's happy now. And like I said, I'm excited for the next things that we will be doing.
In those 4 years, was there a moment that you considered giving up?
For sure. Of course. If any founder that you interview here will say na wala, naku ba, they'll be
Make or
lying.
break moment. Lagi may make or break moment, ano? Sa...
I I don't think it's just one thing. It's many different, yung the daily grind will get to you,
Yeah.
right? The daily stress will get to you. The small things piled up together will get to you. So those are some of the things. But I think more importantly, when a founder or in any case, a leader, it could, you don't have to be a business person only for this lesson. You can be an employee, you can be a mom, you can be a teacher, you can be a church leader. When you get to that point, you really have to go back to your purpose. Kasi yun lang talaga. No amount of meditation or, like talking to people will solve it.
Yeah.
It's really
So
going back to your cliche man siya. People say why, the why is, what is your why? Go back to your why. I would actually even I will I'll go one step further. Go back to the who. Who are you? Who were you meant to be? What's your destiny? Why did you do this in the first place? So, mas ano pa siya, mas wider pa yung ang advice ko. Like, it's not just why you did this, it's who are you and who are you trying to be and what are you, what does it entail to get to that identity that you have. Oh, yan.
and yeah, I've just started in this career and na-realize ko lang din na ang dami talagang moments na dapat yung makontrol yung internal talks. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Yung mga thoughts na
Yes.
sinasabi mo sa sarili mo kasi
Definitely.
things go hard talaga pero
Yes.
yung internal talk mo. What was
That's
that
why.
like to you?
No, that's why it's very important to know who you are because the internal talk may come, external talk sasabayan pa, but you have to go back to who are you. Sino ka ba? Are you really an entrepreneur? Because if not, stop doing this, right? And if you are an entrepreneur, are you, as a person, is your purpose, is your destiny to impact the industry that you are in? Because if not, then you will, kahit paano mo siya i-push, no matter how you push yourself, it's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna be enough. So, I think it's a matter of identity, Eros.
Really
Ano
knowing
siya,
yourself talaga. In and out.
And yes. Alam mo, ano man
So
siya,
important.
corny man siyang pakinggan, but yes. Because
So
beyond your why I'm doing this, you have to know who you are as a person, your identity. I mean, I'm taking this, ano ba to? Itong conversation na to, a level higher because I also operate on faith. Mabigat kasi yun eh. If you have faith, if you believe in something bigger than yourself, mas madali mong makakayanan yan.
yeah.
Whereas, if you just rely on your why, then it's limited to that.
Yeah.
So, let's say your why is to make $1 million. That's my why because, what if you achieve it? Does that mean that's your end? Yun na ba yun? So, you have to attach yourself to something bigger than you, something that you cannot accomplish. Kasi, and I'm sure your audience are also this, and they're listening because they want to improve themselves. Magaling ang tao. Napakagaling ng, and if majority of the audience here are Filipino, magaling ang Pinoy. Napaka-maabalyadan ng Pinoy. Okay? But, you have to attach all of these effort to something bigger, to something grander, something beyond yourself, so that you don't get burnt out easily, so that you don't question yourself when you start feeling all of this self-talk. Like sabi mo nga, self-talk, di ba? Mahirap yan. Ako, yung kalabanin mo yung sarili mo. So, dapat kampihan mo yung sarili mo.
Yeah, additional to faith, mine is delusional faith. Minsan. Sagad.
That's the best thing, Crazy faith is the best thing.
Crazy faith.
Yes,
Yeah,
crazy
you hold
faith.
on to that vision no matter what. Hold on to it. Yeah,
Correct.
just learn every day, talk to the right people, learn new things every day.
Yes,
Keep moving forward.
correct.
Yeah. On your journey as an educator and the first few things that you did as an overseas Filipino worker, was there a leadership style that you developed there na na-apply nyo sa
Ooh.
medal?
Yes, definitely. And I think it's that I do not believe in micromanaging people. So my leadership style is I let people who are better than me do their job. So ano yun, part yun yung lesson na tipong watch who you partner with. See? So and you also said high intelligence. That's why it's part of it, right? It's part of it. So with the people surrounding you na mas magaling sa'yo, let them do their job. Let them buy into the vision, then let them do their job, then get out of their way. So I think that's what works if you have a good team. Pero kapag ang team mo hindi magaling, nako, hindi aabot dyan. Kasi, it's not gonna work. Then you have to spell it out, step 1 to 10. I believe that people are good. I believe that people are capable of learning. And more exciting to we are in an era where knowledge is always new. Yung alam natin last year, hindi na nga siya applicable ngayon siguro. So you have to learn again. You have to relearn. There are new things coming out. So people who are experts last year may not be the experts this year. Kaya ang sarap magtayo ng mga bagong, startups, innovations, ideas. Ang sarap magtayo during this season because no one is really an expert, which makes you at a very good position. Let me be an expert in something. Kasi mabilis ang knowledge, mabilis ang tech, mabilis ang development. So, I think that's the style that I think I have.
Sobrang tama. So, you should really be with someone talaga na you trust 100%. Kasi kung nagka-second, kasi minsan we hire kasi convenience. Kasi kailangan ko na talaga ng person na to. Then you trust them 80%.
That will always, yes. Usually that will not work.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very painful. You will learn it the hard way. No. Better wait for the right person because
hire slow.
Hire slow. Yes.
Yeah. If you'll be talking to your starting days as an educator, do you have any specific advice to Miss Younger L?
Oh, nakakaiyak yung question na yan. Don't give up kasi madaming mahirap na pinagdaanan yung Younger L. So do not give up, and then you get to a place that you haven't even imagined. Aabot ka dun sa part na yun. Aabot ka dun na you talk to the brightest minds in the world. And this is part of what I do in the event side naman. Like, I am so privileged to be learning from some of the brightest minds sa buong mundo. And I love it. Gusto ko yun. Kasi, sabi ko nga, ang daming pagbabago at ang bilis. So we have to always be learning. We have to always be asking, right? So don't give up, Elle. You'll get there and it's going to be a good future.
What was the habits and ginagawa ni Younger L na nag-make sense na tama pala siya ngayon? At ituloy mo lang itong habits na to. What was that?
Oh my goodness. Parang maiiyak ako ngayon. Tissue.
Kasi hindi ko na mag-make sense to I'm reading a book. I'm reading 3 books as of the moment. Na parang, mag-make sense ba to? Na parang, now, looking back, what was those habits na, sabi na nga ba, buti lang tinuloy-tuloy ko yun. Was it journaling?
Okay.
What was that?
Can I be corny? Can I create some cringe moments here? It is developing your faith. It's really developing the relationship you have with the God that you serve. So I am a Christian. So I try to learn as much as I can about the God who created me. Kasi siya yung may alam ano ang purpose ko. Diba? It's like creator of any gadget. Ang creator ang may alam kung anong purpose ni gadget. At ang creator ang may alam kung paano i-optimize si gadget. So, I'm not a gadget, but what I'm saying is that I would like to continue that. And I am so thankful to my younger self that she did not give up, even if she didn't understand why you still have to, pursue, deepen your faith, continue praying. So, yun din ang advice ko sa audience natin. In the end, and so many things are happening in the world right now with, wars and rivers drying up and earthquakes and volcanoes. In the end, really, you have to know your purpose. Kasi yun yung pinaka makaka-make sense. It's not the education. It's not the money you make. It's not how famous you are, how beautiful you are. It's really, what is your purpose? Are you doing it? Kasi kapag ang sagot mo doon, oo, ano ka na, you're halfway to the success that everybody's talking about.
Continuing to success. In the end, young L versus now L. What was the difference na inaakala niyo yung success when you started and now that you are somehow experiencing it?
Okay, so young people, and I will not exclude myself, the younger me, I always thought success is being rich. Yun kasi yung pinaka madaling definition of success. Oh, when I have money, I have, cars, I can travel, I have a house, I can have savings. So I always thought that was success. And now, that is wrong. Napakalaking pagkakamali niya because madaling yumaman. And let me say that, anong tawag doon, with confidence. Madaling yumaman. Kasi madaming yaman sa mundo. It's just up to you to, catch on to that. There are so many opportunities. So, ang mahirap is to enjoy yung yaman na ginawa mo. I have seen so many rich people who do not even enjoy their wealth. So for me, success now has taken a different definition. Success is really being able to do, live your life in your own terms. Kasi meron kang choice. So I guess that's it. It's really having the choice.
Live your life on your own terms.
Kasi I think for me, success is when you have a choice. Anong oras ako gigising? Kasi di ba, if you are not yet that successful, kailangan mo gumising at the time na kailangan mo mag-grind, hustle. I think if you are at a point na, I can just sleep in today. That is a very good indicator of success. Success is knowing and being able to choose, what do I want to eat today? Saan ako kakain? That is very good. Alam mo yun, it's a very good indicator of success na may choice ka. So you can move on to bigger things like, success is being able to have a choice na I want my holiday on this month, dito sa destination na to. So that's my definition of success.
Really nice.
Yes.
So it's sad to say we're kind of getting in the end na since we have, so sayang ang term ni Sean lagi dito, bitin lagi ang conversations natin.
Bitin.
lagi yung bitin. Because,
Tuloy natin sa face-to-face.
Yes, tara.
Yes.
When are you coming back to the Philippines?
Bubulong ko sa'yo after the show.
After, for real?
Who knows? Basta, definitely, I mean, Sean is a very good friend, so definitely I will, make effort na magkita-kita tayo if and when I am next back in the Philippines.
Sure.
And Apple as well. Apple, hi. I'm saying hi. Apple TNC, yes.
So now, this part talaga, magsusulat dapat kami, magsasabi ng aming key takeaways. Pero sa akin, buburahin ko na lahat, tapos mag-i-stick na lang ako sa isa, and it's faith. That's my key takeaway on your journey as an educator, jumping into a new country, starting multiple ventures, and going to starting MedHive. All throughout that is faith.
Yes.
Which is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So with that, Miss L, Kwan, co-founder of MedHive, any last words or tips or anything na need makatch up kayo para sa kanilang
Last words. So I
Yeah.
love your show. We call it the founder's failure, right? And I hope I was able to share some of the learnings and failures. So, and you said your takeaway is faith. So for those who are facing some kind of parang failure, or those who have been through failure, think of life as, sowing and reaping. So kung may tinanim ka, hard work, trust, resources, magbubunga yan eh. But here's the thing, a seed, when you plant it, bababa pa lang yan. Bababa. Hindi naman yan agad aakyat. So when failures or, some challenges happen, think of it as your seed being deeper. Kasi pag yan namunga, or, lumaki siya, mas maganda na ang foundation mo, mas malalim. Kasi every failure, kahit masakit siya, is actually a way for you to be better and for you to be able to help others. Kaya, ano lang yan? Push. Push pa.
Push pa.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Miss L. Kwan, co-founder of MedHive, and hope to catch with you again soon.
Thanks, Eros.
Thanks, Miss L. So, yeah, this has been another episode of Founders Failures. Watch out for another episode every Saturday, 6 p.m. only here at the new channel. And don't forget to get inspired. Don't fear failures and join the startup community. This has been Founders Failures.
Ang 40D, tumutulong patibayin ng vital organs, iwas sakit sa puso at iba pang sakit.
Ang ubo, mabilis lumala, kaya dapat agapan. Dapat New Solmux Advanced Syrup. May 2 times zinc para ang ubo, imbis na lumala, tulungang mabilis mawala. New Solmux Advanced Syrup.
Unilab yan.